Hey guys, welcome back to Double D in the Morning, and this is Double D in the Sunday Morning, episode 34, How to Set Goals That Are Achievable. Let me emphasize that I am a disabled person myself, and some of these achievable goals I could apply to myself, because I'm a man of the world type of thought. I'd like to do a little bit of everything, but we can't do everything, disabled or able-bodied. This is a set some logical goals and achievable goals for yourself list. Like, for instance, some people would love to go to college and have the smarts to go to college, but they have a timed test anxiety, like for the ACT or the SAT. Then just don't go to college. There's other forms of better education. You could be a carpenter or a vocational school skilled person like a chef. There's tons of different ways that you could expand your knowledge. But then again, maybe carpentry or vocational school or college isn't your thing. Maybe you can't do it. Like a disabled person can't be a carpenter. There's other things you could do to make money. You could be a stay-at-home person and sell stuff online. There's tons of different things you could make and sell online with help with a partner. Like a big popular thing that you could make online is you could make a lot of crafted things. And you could sell them on Etsy or eBay or Amazon. But that would be an example of an achievable goal. Something you could do. You don't want to be a disabled person but trying to be a pilot or trying to be a carpenter. You don't want to have some physical ailment. You don't want it anyway, but you don't want to be trying to achieve something. You could want it all day long. But you can't have any kind of physical ailment and be a power wheelchair maker or an automobile mechanic. I myself would like to do some of that stuff, but we got to achieve what we can achieve. There's other careers out there, and choose something that you know you can do. Like, for instance, if you want to be an animator, instead of being out one in California and having to leave your family, and a lot of what your support system is, if you're disabled specifically, because you need people to help you, trust me. You could look into how to be a digital animator, and you could be an animated YouTuber that has animated stories, and you could post them to YouTube. A lot easier. The digital animator would still take some learning, but it wouldn't take 4 years of college. That would be the more achievable goal. You could be a biologist specialist and research biology and just know the craft. And you might want to be a doctor but who wants to go to school for 8 years? Just research biology at your house if you want to achieve that for a goal. Also, if you're into interior and exterior designing, you can do some of it, but you couldn't do all of it. You could research how to become an interior or exterior designer just by job shadowing. Instead of going to college, you could just, if you know a local one in your community, job shadow them and just figure out what to do. But then you could become an exterior designer and a curb appeal person and learn how to be a gardener and a painter. But do what you can of it, because you can't do all of it, especially if you're limited with your body. One thing that could be an achievable goal is you could be a really, really good painter, possibly even a famous one. But you just had to practice at it, and you could sell them too on your Etsy page, or your eBay, or your Amazon selling page. That could be another thing you could do, but you could also make some money with it. You could sell paintings. There are very few and far between instruments out there that can be done with one hand, like the piano or a keyboard or a pocket trumpet. But you could find a one-handed instrument, and you could learn how to play that. And likely, you wouldn't be a prodigy, but you could be talented enough to at least maybe play some concerts eventually. That could be an achievable goal. Yeah, I mean, you could play the trumpet like, the Chicago horn players. You could play the piano and at least learn how to play some Billy Joel or some Elton John type of music. Practice makes perfect, and music is something you'd have to practice at, but there are some one-handed instruments out there that you could at least buy and practice with. I mentioned pocket trumpet before, but the piano can also be played with one hand. If you really wanted to play it, it would take some time and some strategy and some really patience, because it takes years to become real good at that one. But it can be done. That's an achievable goal that could be done for disabled people too. It can be done. just going to take some time and some patience. Another musical goal that would take practice but could be achieved is you could be a singer. That would require some vocal coaching, but that can be done. Anyone could be a singer. Another vocal related talent that would take some work is being a voice actor. Anybody could be a voice artist or a voice actor. That's just going to take some time and some work. Even some disabled people. I've known some disabled people in the business, known of them. I don't know them personally, but one person I know that, not personally but just in the business, is disabled. She's blind. The voice of Kimmy Finster in Trixie Tang on Fairly Odd Parents and the Rugrats. The original Rugrats. So if she can do it, you can do it too. Anything that's worth achieving is worth doing well, and a voice actor is an achievable goal for disabled people. But for certain of these kind of jobs, you don't have to work for RCA or a big company like Hollywood Records, Disney. Like if you wanted to go into animation, you could do it independently. Same thing with singing, or same thing with any of this. Playing the piano or trumpet playing. That's another achievable goal. Start your own independent business with any of these kind of job traits that I was talking about. Being a carpenter or a designer of some sort, clothing. Do your own independent business. Don't work for a company. That's an achievable goal that you would have control over it. If you worked for yourself in anything that I mentioned, the singing, the instrument playing, crafting, whatever you want to do, work for yourself, because that's more of an achievable goal than working for someone, because they're going to control you. If you work for yourself, you can control it. Another way that's an achievable goal that you could make money in any of these other ones that I've already mentioned is you could turn them into YouTube channels. You could practice into your niche of what you're going to do for the channel. And then when you've practiced and made enough videos that you haven't uploaded, but you've made videos with your video equipment, you could make a music channel or a cartoon channel or a how-to channel or a how to sing channel or how to make cartoons or how to do this. How-to channels is a big achievable goal and very, very popular on YouTube. But you gotta practice first and make your videos and then upload them. Practice makes perfect. And don't just upload the videos and think they're gonna get views. You need to practice at your niche and then upload the videos. That way, being a YouTube person and personality would be a more achievable goal if you practice at it first and then upload the video. Another example of an achievable goal is teaching someone how to swim. But they're not going to be a mermaid. Don't squash their enthusiasm and their childlike wonder. But I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying. Another vocational job that one could do if they're good with a pencil and good with tech work is you could be a designer. It would be a lot easier to be a draftsperson designer than an architect, because that would require basically a doctorate degree. But a draftsman would be a whole lot easier to get a degree that's a lot more achievable that would only take about 18 months. Do which one of the two that you want. But I think the more achievable goal is just being a draftsman. Because if you want to be an architect, you're going to have to be pretty daggone patient. And that's achievable too. But the closer to learning the job and getting the job would be a draftsman, because it wouldn't require as much education. Any goal that's achievable is going to take some work. But work at it, and it can be done. You could be a software tech or a video game designer, which would require some schooling, but it could be done. You could be a video game software designer for PC, or you could be a video game console designer, game designer for EA Sports or EA or Ace, Electronic Arts, racing games, Nintendo. You could be a designer and an entertainer at a whole different level if you're a software designer and game designer. It's going to take a lot of tech work and a lot of math and science and a lot of schooling, but you could do it. It's an achievable goal. You could also go into, instead of 2D animation, you could also go into CGI animation that would require the same amount of math and science, but in a different way. You could animate movies like, You could make your own version of something like Toy Story or Monsters Inc. or Little Mermaid. Something like that. Not something that's already been done. But you could make your own fantasy world with 3D animation. And you could do it, and I believe that you can. That's an achievable goal. It's just going to take some work. But anything and everything is achievable with work and determination. You can achieve anything and do anything you want. You just got to work at it. I mean, you could be the next Bob Ross if you wanted to be. Or the next Walt Disney or Roy Disney. You can do it. It's just going to require work. You can do anything you want. Getting into certain kind of art colleges would be tough, but it can be done. People got into CalArts. And CalArts would be a very good school to get in if you want to make video games or cartoons or anything with art. Tough to do, but you can do it. Keep the positive attitude with any kind of achievable goal, and you'll achieve. You've got to stay positive with your mind frame and mindset to achieve any of these goals. I mean, you could even be a stock car racer designer for NASCAR or a company like that. Or for go-karts for kids. You could make stock car racing go-karts. Whatever you want to do, it's achievable. It's just going to take work. In conclusion, I think you can do anything and everything that you want, but keep it an achievable goal, something that you can do. And if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and hit the notification bell to Double D in the morning. And also follow me on my Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and TikTok, and my Facebook fan group, Drew's YouTube fan group. Also, try out my other channel, A Slice of Life with Drew Moore. You'll love it.